Alright guys, so the two exercises that we're going to do today are going to be fairly short, but it is going to prepare you for the overall project, which is a wrapped animal portrait. So we're going to start by talking about contour lines, and I've got this apple here. So contour lines focus on the outline of objects. So if we were going to outline or create an outline for this apple here, then we are really just looking at these outside edges first. And then going in, because it can include some interior details. So this little area where the stem would be, and the stem. Okay, so this is just a simple contour drawing. What our project is going to be working on mostly is cross contours. So the cross contours are going to be talking more about the volume of an object. These are the lines that are creating almost like a grid that will make a flat image look three-dimensional. Alright, so here is our apple, and just imagine that it is on an axis. So we're going to stick this through here. Okay, so the axis runs straight through the center of the apple. All right, your horizontal cross contour lines basically are going straight all the way around. Now that we have all of our horizontal cross contours in, what we're going to do now is our vertical cross contours. Now these are going to start at the center where the axis is, and they're just going to go straight down to the bottom where that axis ends. Okay, so these are our cross contours. Now, when we tilt the apple, you can see that these lines are no longer just straight across the apple. They dip down and create almost like an oval. See how it curves and dips? And then as you get further away from the viewer, the spacing gets a little bit smaller and smaller. This larger area where the volume is bigger, that spacing is bigger. So, when we are drawing our cross contours on the apple, alright, so those are our horizontal cross contours. Again, they're curving, creating these elliptical oval shapes. Alright, so for the vertical ones now, you can see again, they are not just straight up and down. They're going to start here where the axis is, and really you can start with this line that we put in for the crease of the apple. Alright, and that's this line. It can work. It starts up flat, just a little bit where the stem is. Curves. right here at the center, it does kind of flatten out a little bit, but there is still a bit of a curve. And then on this side, the curves are going the opposite direction. You know, a lot of times if you look at a pumpkin, these are kind of the lines that you would see. Okay, so there is a cross contour drawing of our apple. All right, so for this exercise, you are going to draw your non-dominant hand. Okay, now it doesn't have to be super detailed and you don't have to worry about shading, but we do want to go ahead and try and get some of the proportions correct. And just get a contour drawing in. Okay, so just the outline for right now. So things are going to get a little bit more complicated than they were with the apple, but the same principles still apply for the most part. So for your hand, all you're going to do is stretch out your fingers, okay? And remember, our horizontal lines just go straight across. So let me see if I can, and back. So I know it kind of looks funny, but you guys can start to see the horizontal cross contours, and then you can notice, like when I start to curl my hand, how those contours change shape. Okay, some of them become more concave, they dip, they become the ovals that you see at the tips of the fingers. Okay, so these are the horizontal lines, and they are just for the fingers. Okay, once we get to the palm of the hand, those might change quite a bit. So once you can imagine your lines on your fingers, then you can start to draw them here on your sketch. Alright, so if you notice, in my drawing, the way that I'm holding my hand and my perspective from back, further back than like where the camera is, as the fingers move away from me, that is when the ovals form more of like the frowny face shape. They're upside down almost. But when the fingers start to curve back towards me, that's when the shape of the cross contour starts to change. It's more like a smiley face shape. Okay. Sure that as you come to a crease or a bulge in your fingers, that is where you can start to curve your lines, just like in the apple. When it starts to create or show lots of volume, that's where you want those opposing curves to show up. Alright, so now we're getting into the palm of the hand, and you can see I've already brought this vertical line down and into this curve crease fold that I have in my palm anyways, so let's go ahead and put that in. Again, I'm looking at it from a different perspective than what the camera is, so if it looks a little bit off to you guys, then that's probably why. And then the palm of the hand gets kind of tricky because you're trying to tie in these vertical lines that might go here and here and here, the vertical lines that are coming in from this direction. Alright, so for your hand, just take your time, alright? Alright guys, so I did not record the part with the palm of my hand, and now it's too covered in lines for me to do it again. But here is the basic idea of it. So this line can continue to come down. This line, again, we're showing the volume, and like the biggest part of the volume is right here. And so you can kind of see this line right here coming down, and this one dropping down, and then this one kind of comes through the center, and that is where the volume is going to show up, right there at the palm of our hand. So you can see where there is a more dense concentration of lines. That is where the skin starts to come together. You would see that closer to the wrinkles as well. But then also, like the larger, the more voluminous part of your hand, that is where the lines are able to spread out a little bit more and really indicate volume and form for that part of your hand. So we really see it right here, but then also like right here in this finger and a little bit in this finger where the skin kind of puckers up a little bit. Alright, so that covers it for the cross contour drawings. So remember, just choose your non-dominant hand, start with your contour drawing, which again is just the edges, and then start laying the grid for your cross contours.